Greetings, SingularityNET community, and welcome to our beginning of May Pod Leader update. At our Pod Leaders channel on a weekly basis on a Monday, we run through with all of our amazing team leaders what's going on in their world, what amazing things have happened, and what amazing things are coming up. Of course, we have just recently published our new roadmap, and we're really excited to bring to you the team of incredible people who are actually going to be delivering these amazing feats over the next 2, 3, and 4 quarters. So without further ado, I'm delighted to introduce our SingularityNET pod leaders, and I'll give you a little update on what we mean by pod leaders. It's effectively our decentralized team structure that we operate here at SingularityNET. Myself and Dianne, who is VP of Product and of course Head of Deep Funding, tend to co-chair this meeting, and we'll be co-chairing it as we go along. Dianne is better than me at keeping up with who's coming next and what's going on. So Dianne, who are we kicking off with first? I think it's going to be the great Marcello, CEO of SingularityDAO, who's very kindly joined us for a little introduction today and brought some of his very talented team to share the story of some of the exciting things going on at SingularityDAO.
Okay, hi everyone. My name is Hubert, and I work for SingularityDAO within the AI team. My personal story, at least my technical story, started in 2017 when I was introduced to blockchain. Didn't take a very long time for me to start trading these, so I was sucked into the vortex of algorithmic trading. Now fast forwarding multiple years later, I did work in machine learning, I did blockchain work, I did trading work, and thankfully it already has been 9 months after joining SingularityDAO. Again, I'm part of the AI team where I currently glue the AI and trading efforts. The team is quite exceptional, way too many smart people, way too driven. I know I'm quite driven myself, but even though I've always been very impressed with the team, not only my team, but everyone within SingularityDAO, also Marcello here and Rob as well. So in terms of what the AI team has been working on, one of our primary responsibilities is to support the trading team. The trading team did exceptionally well in the first beta with their Dynasets. They've outperformed BTC by 18%, so roughly extrapolating up throughout a year, and we would have outperformed the market by 93%, which is remarkable. Obviously, it's our job to make these decisions even better. The cryptocurrency ecosystem generates an abundance of data, and thankfully AI provides a great way to leverage that data. So that's my personal responsibility to make that happen. The actual efforts that the AI team is now involved with, for example, well, it all starts with the data. So we have built out a very decent, robust data infrastructure that is able to handle 200 gigs per day of volume. And these could be trade executions, on-chain metrics, for example, order book data points, updates to the order book. It's a very wide and diverse data set. Thankfully, it provides us a way to look at the markets in novel ways, which is very exciting to work on. But in a way, purely collecting these raw data points. In relation to the data collection, quite often using the raw data in itself, it's not usable. So we need to transform it in such ways where we are able to, for example, visualize it to the traders, or we're able to directly feed into a model and use learning to, for example, predict what's about to happen in terms of volatility, but also in terms of liquidity. The holy grail is to predict price, and we have some very promising models running right now that we are strongly pushing forward. Related to other topics such as the on-chain data, which we're now actively collecting. We're looking at wallet behavior. That could be behavior of Wils trading. We are looking at retailers. Long story short, the data infrastructure is getting to a very robust level where we're able to have a very deep and knowledgeable understanding of what's happening within the markets. Again, it's a very exciting topic to work on. How are we using these data streams? we're working on an automated portfolio management system that leverages AI to make smart decisions to manage assets throughout the whole ecosystem on-chain as a Dynaset. Next to that, we're working on trade automation. So we work with two very experienced traders, but obviously when trading all kinds of assets simultaneously and even more Dynasets are coming up, it's helpful to skill their efforts. So therefore the trading automation is very helpful. A part of that trading automation is also, let's say, quantitative strategy development. So one of our quants is deeply involved in backtesting all kinds of strategies, and we're moving towards deploying these strategies as well, which is a super exciting topic. And finally, we're also heavily involved with a couple of external engagements that relate to, let's say, reinforcement learning, genetic programming, and state-of-the-art modeling, such as a spatial temporal model. All in all, the AI team is working very hard to deliver AI-related tech within the Dynasets. It's a true pleasure to work here. It's a true pleasure to be here. And thank you all.
Well, that's amazing. Thank you very much. What a kickoff. A shot of blood to the arm, that one. Tell me, before I just ask Marcello for a very brief comment, as we have a lot of pods to cover today. Tell me, please, tell me one more time, how much are you outperforming the market?
We're outperforming the market by 18%, and that's over a 3-month period. So again, extrapolating that to a year.
1/8?
1/8, yeah, 1/8.
In the previous trading window, between 15 and 20%, yeah. But this time we're gonna do better, of course.
Of course.
So we're beating any other asset management tool available on the market by far.
On crypto or on fiat or on both?
No, it depends. I mean, there are hedge funds that perform like 350%, of course, with more advanced tools. But with on-chain tools that we have, we are beating anybody else.
Congratulations. That's just incredible. We're massively super lucky to have you all here. Robert, did you have any brief 30-second addition to that?
30-second addition.
You can have 1 minute, but I think we're way over.
All right.
Sorry.
No, that's
exciting.
That's okay. So if I have 1 minute, so then I'll just talk about the Dynasets, right? So
well, technically, Robert has a 5 minutes to go through the platform. Can we give him 5 minutes?
Go for it. Just because we love you.
Awesome. Thanks. So my name is Robert Wils. I am the head of products for SingularityDAO, and I project manage a group of very good developers who work tirelessly around the clock and even during the weekends to get everything done and make sure that everything is safe, accessible, and enjoyable, basically. So we just finished the closed beta on Dynasets, and we opened the open beta on Dynasets, and we nearly doubled in terms of assets under management. So that's incredible. Which is so what we're working on right now, because that's what probably most of you want to hear is we're working on Dynasets. So open beta is going on right now, and we are moving on to what we call V1. So this will allow integration of both shorting and leverage trading functionalities, and this will be complete and allow our DAM to employ more advanced trading strategies. We're also working on BNB chain and DIN yield. So BNB chain, we are launching our next Dynaset on BNB chain. Thus far, we've done everything on Ethereum, but the next Dynaset will be on BNB chain. We're also launching something called DIN yield. So this is a Dynaset consisting of stable coins, and the Dynaset will open the doors to some interesting new use cases and methods for generating alpha. The Dynaset will monitor stablecoin yield farming protocols, basically, and generate alpha by moving coins between the best performing pools. So this is regarding Dynasets. The other big thing, I think, is V2. So V2 is that we will release a completely redesigned and reimagined platform. And this will include a lot of quality of life upgrades, a complete visual redesign alongside numerous improvements and additional features. Probably two more things I want to add to all this. One is a DAO membership proposal. So this is a white paper we are currently writing. It's already 20 pages long. And these are mechanics basically to increase the utility of holding the SDAO token. It increases the utility of holding the SDAO token and affecting many aspects of the project and including additional perks and benefits to SDAO token holders. So it's not going to be a one-time addition to the platform, but an ongoing and growing mechanism to encourage new members and reward long-term holders. And the final thing I want to say is that we are currently working on Cardano integration for that, which is really exciting. So this far we have been supporting Ethereum and BNB chain, and Cardano will be next. So this is something I'm really looking forward to, and it's going to open up a lot of doors. Thanks.
Yeah, so this was quite a long update, but then again, you're also your own company with, I think, like 30 people right now. Who would have thought that just 1 year ago?
Yeah, over 40 people.
Over 40 people. So
yeah.
It's not just the features, it's the organization, it's the professionality. Everything is growing like mad out there. And yeah, I can only wonder where you will be yet another year from now. If I look at that roadmap, it will be amazing. So you will be well known, I think, in the whole DeFi space and out there if you go on like that. So congratulations and thanks for that wonderful update.
Thank you so much for accommodating us, guys. Thank you, really. I have to shoot off.
Amazing, Marcello. Amazing, Robert. Amazing, Hubert. Thanks a million for coming along today, giving us such a fantastic kickoff to our recorded pod meeting. Lovely to see you all, guys.
Bye.
Thank you for having me.
Bye.
Bye. Keep it up. Great work. Thank you.
All right. So next, Janet will be Rejuve with our wonderful Jasmine. She's all ready for that presentation, I think. So let it come, Jasmine.
Let it rip.
Say it.
I love your background, Jasmine.
Yeah. Hello, everyone.
Hey.
So, give you an update on what's been happening in Rejuve world. Actually, a lot has been happening with getting the app ready for our open or closed beta, open invitation, closed beta. So in the past few months, we have been working on improving the predictive quality of our AI by increasing the number of scientific citations and articles that are being sourced within it. We are also, we installed a lot of kind of new features in the app, or developed it more. And we also reorganized kind of the order and did some cosmetic changes. So you can actually see on our website right now, looks a little bit different than it did previously. And it pretty much made it more intuitive so that when you go through and look at your list of insights, recommendations, when you look at your list of tasks to complete your surveys and your medical data you're entering, that it's all kind of in its own nice spaces. We put in mock flow for the data submission and rewards, because of course in beta we don't have the token yet. So we will have kind of the flow there that will be iterated upon with you, our community, actually. So we want everyone to come in and kind of test it out and give feedback on how it's arranged and how we can better improve that for our users, because we're expecting that everyone joining the beta will be our first users of the actual app. So your feedback will be extremely valuable to us. We've also been working on debugging some issues with wearable syncing, so that when we're connecting our smartwatch devices, it's connecting with not only our AI, but also representing the graphs accurately within the app and kind of telling you the signals of what's been happening and then how that's affecting your longevity, pretty much kind of in connecting with your biological age. And also in exciting news, we are currently designing the data and product NFT smart contracts. And also our CTO, Dr. Deborah Duong, is working on a chapter / paper in an upcoming book on longevity with Dr. Ben and a few other members of our bio AI team. and that will serve as a kind of beginning of a scientific validation of our model that we are using in the longevity app. Looking forward, we are looking to make the front end available for the Bayes Expert AI service that I mentioned in the last month. That service actually is already tied up in the SingularityNET marketplace on the back end. So all we really need is just for the front to be able to have people begin to start using that. So that is very exciting. And we also want to begin to onboard our other AI services into the marketplace as well. And I think that is the basics of it. So stay tuned for more. We will be having kind of a lot more social activity ramping up and more updates to come soon.
Amazing. Thank you, Jasmine. I know there's huge amounts of work underway to get that MVP out to the community for testing. Is Debbie with us today? Does Debbie want to come and say hello to the community and tell us a little bit about the AI at the back of the that basically runs all of the processing on the MVP? Hi, Debbie. Lovely to see you.
Okay. Our AI is all about decentralization. It's all about crowdsourcing the community of science. Our Bayes Expert is our first try at that. Right now, we're seeding our AI with a Bayesian network that's composed of many different randomized controls trials and studies, all put together, first manually by our scientists, but later they're to be switched out with models crowdsourced from the community. So right now we have over 70 meta-analyses in our Bayesian net, and we're improving it all the time. And we expect the community will improve it even more. And once it's there, that will help not only our personalized medicine in premium services in our app, but also will contribute to the virtual model of the human body, the multi-resolutional simulation, because we have a way to put models together, not just Bayesian networks, but other AI models in a way that involves conversions.
That's brilliant, thank you. There was a little bit of noise interference there at the end, but we caught most of what you said. So I know decentralization is really important to you, Debbie. How, Jasmine already told us, would you remind us when is the Rejuve Bayes Expert going to be available to developers on our AI platform, and what can they do with it when you've got it? What are we offering?
Okay, there's going to be a series of releases of more and more complex capabilities. But right now, we do have Bayes network on the platform. It just doesn't have a GUI. So we're going to start out with the GUI, and that GUI is going to be a simple way to insert the statistics all scientists know about in their literature, like relative risk. Of course, since it's a Bayes network, they can add their theories of causation. And that's important because we're going to take those different theories of causation and find the sets of those theories that make the most sense together and that predict the best together.
For the benefit of everybody's health and longevity.
That's right. And even augment them with more, conditioning so that we know in which cases these sets are the most sensible ones to use, in which other cases those sets of theories are the most sensible.
Thank you very much indeed, Dr. Duong. Fabulous to have you here, and thank you so much for your time and all your incredible commitment and hard work and brilliance on the Rejuve AI side. Thank you. All right, fabulous. Thank you very much. Rejuve ladies leading the way here on our longevity research and our biotech. I don't think we have Michael with us today, do we? He's our biomedical researcher. Anyway, super. Who's next, Dianne? Hi, Kabir. Thank you very much for joining us. Lovely to see you as always.
Yes. So I think the main thing that happened last month is that we became officially free chain token NuNet became free chain token, which means we are on Ethereum, on Binance Chain, and on Cardano. And we have a way of, I mean, as the whole SingularityNET ecosystem, we have a way to bridge tokens back and forth. Now we are building basically the ecosystem and kind of trying to leverage all three. Now that is a part more from the what we call external tokenomics side, and there are differences for the chain because there are historical differences. Also, there are differences in planning. In terms of the development, what we want to do with that, we want to sort of build the ability for people, something that we kind of established in our roadmap, for people to contribute, I mean, let's say reward infrastructure owners for sort of allowing the infrastructure to be accessed via NuNet with NTX tokens. So this is something that is pretty much the main thing that we are right now concentrating on. And that is where the use cases that we're doing with the roadmap, which is Cardano SPO use case, we're allowing stake pool operators to run the stake pools via NuNet infrastructure. Also, other use cases that we're building. So we are getting all of them in order to build this main functionality so that people could use NTX tokens via one of those chains to actually contribute them to the people who join NuNet with their resources. So we are basically emphasizing right now or prioritizing to build this functionality on Cardano. It's just because of the situation in the chains. We do not, let's say, deny all the others, but basically this is a priority. So I think for the few, coming months, this is what we are going to do in terms of platform development, so that we could enable certain use cases which would be already useful for people to sort of to enable NTX transfers and the utility of NTX token on the platform. Yes, so I guess this would be the short update, if that makes sense.
That makes perfect sense. Thank you very much indeed, Kabir, and a huge amount going on as always, and lots of progress to report. Thank you. What are you most excited by at the moment?
So related to that, so basically what we were kind of concretely what we were doing and what we were busy with building the team in order to achieve all these things, and also to organizing the team. So I think right now we are in this position where the people, we started to onboard people, I mean already a month ago, etc. and so on, and the team is getting shaped in terms of the positions that are being, let's say, filled, in terms of the specialization. And also I think right now we are in this phase where we have to streamline the process. So we're building the process so that it's most efficient, as efficient as we can sort of reach. So yeah, so right now this is a goal internally to make the development process and in general process efficient, and sort of arrange all the functions within the team. I think the next sort of stage internally would be to build the process to sort of harness as much as possible intelligence and energy from the community in a sense of development, which is this was our plan all along, to kind of involve the community developers as much as possible into the actually building the code and giving us guidelines meaning the directions, what are the most important parts of the code that we have to build in order to build that utility that I was mentioning. So this is it's kind of difficult to say how long will it take. It depends how well we will organize ourselves, and that's exactly the kind of main emphasis right now. Hopefully, it will be brought to fruition as soon as and later. However, we also conscious that we have to make it work well rather than work fast.
That's really true. Thank you.
Here we are.
Thank you. How many people have you got on your team now? Because you started from, what was it, 2 or 3 in the fall? What have you grown to?
I'm kind of calculating all the time because we're still having let's say people who are helping us from the ecosystem side, and we will be having it. So I'm kind of depending on the day I'm calculating them in or calculating them out. But I think we're having somewhere like 12 maybe.
12 to 15 people.
12 to 15, something like this. Yes.
12 to 15. Yeah.
And basically. Great. I do not think that we would want to have much more than that, many more. Maybe 20 or something like this for this year, because I would think that the organization and development flow starts to be kind of more important than number of people and filling the positions, let's say. So I think gradually, when we are filling those positions that we thought that we have to fill, we are sort of getting towards actually organizing the team or organizing the work, which is not kind of directly related to number of people.
Yeah. Gotcha. Thank you very much indeed. Renata's there. Our head of HR is saying it's 15. So good luck, and thank you so much. Thank you so much, Kabir, for coming and joining us for that.
Thank you.
Thank you. Always so nice to see you. Right, Jan, who's next? Are we going to Dianne?
Well, I would suggest Mindplex, but
Conor's here.
One thing, Kabir, I see a lot of people in deep funding, a lot of proposals coming along who are mentioning NuNet. So people are all ready to start counting on you. So I think you have to hurry up there. Just kidding. Make sure that quality counts. But next in line, Mindplex. We have Conor here, our CTO of Mindplex. And I think, Conor, you have some exciting stuff for us to tell as well, don't you?
Yes. Well, the main thing I want to tell is that I am not the CTO.
COO, sorry.
Mindplex is in a high state of readiness in terms of the software. We have the AI librarian, we have the website front end almost complete. It's missing a few pages that are being worked on. The back end, the blockchain is basically ready. So we are pretty much, it's just a matter of setting a timetable and implementing a launch plan at this point. We did the April update on the SingularityNET blog, and I'm just getting ready to do the Cardano C Fund presentation. So I'm going over my slide deck, talking to myself in my house again and again. So all good. Is Troy is not here, is he? He could tell you more about the technicals, but from the updates I've been getting from him, they're basically complete.
Yeah, the reputation engine is complete, the recommender engine is complete, the content factory is ready, and there's one other module eluding me at the moment, but anyway, it might come back to me before the end of the recording. I'm sure the dog is enjoying your presentations immensely.
And licking me.
Oh, I know you're going to be amazing, of course, Conor. Thank you very much for that update, and very exciting times for Mindplex. Very, very close to that initial magazine MVP platform launch this quarter, and then of course we are going to be in the run-up to the token launch at some time that we're not putting a date on at this moment in time, but that's very much on the cards and on the agenda for Mindplex, as is building the community, because you've got you're hitting you're getting a lot of engagement from the community on the Mindplex channel. So we want to keep growing that channel, and we'd encourage anyone to go and check out the Mindplex channel if you haven't already done it. Decentralized media is going to be super exciting, and who knows, decentralized social media one of these very fine days very soon as well. Magic. Thank you, Mindplex.
All right.
But Bill is looking primed and ready to tell us all the very exciting things that are going on with Singularity Studio.
Yeah, everybody, I'm ready for sure.
Hi.
So hi there. Nice to be here with all of you and the community, and there's lots of updates and lots of activity at Studio. So I'll run through that briefly, try to keep it short. We had a really busy first quarter, and we expect to have a very busy second quarter. And we provide enterprise outreach and really ecosystem support across the entire SingularityNET community. And that was exemplified by the fact we had 2 SingularityNET symposiums in the first quarter, one in Seattle, one in Los Angeles, where we invited qualified investors and many of our companies to pitch live, and also to a virtual audience as well. So in Los Angeles, for example, we had about 50 individuals, or qualified investors, I should say, and other business partners and things like that in attendance. And it was a 3-hour event, and the people who attended actually liked it so much they ended up staying around for at least another hour, many of them, to hang out. So Seos, Sophia's Age of Singularities, Hypercycle, Awakening Health, TrueAGI, Twin Protocol, Jam Galaxy all presented, and I think they all presented at both those. And many of those companies are continuing their talks with the qualified investors to talk about resources. So that's really good, and it got us a lot of exposure. Some of the companies pitched in front of a live group for the first time. There were some new executives that pitched, and all in all, it was really productive. So we are excited to continue to do that. We're planning to assist and hold these events virtually and in person, not only for the group, but also for the individual companies as well. And we're working diligently on with some of these companies, not only on refining their financials, their business strategy, their business models, but also on helping make introductions to qualified investors for them. So we're excited to keep doing that. We also are working on a more consolidated potential funding source for the entire ecosystem. And we've been working diligently on that for some time. And we'll cross our fingers and knock on wood that comes through, because that could be a big boost. But we'll keep that under wraps now until everything is finalized there. So a lot of activity around introductions in the first quarter. Now, not only that, but we also are working to develop and actually have released a talent and human capital management solution that leverages the SingularityNET network. So we've been doing outreach to enterprise companies, even Fortune 50 companies we're talking to at present, who have specific talent needs in AI and blockchain. On the SingularityDAO update, they said there are 40 team members now. Probably the most impressive thing is being able to find great people like they have across this what people are calling the great resignation, or this talent shortage. So in AI and blockchain, there's a huge talent shortage. We're focusing mainly on the US, but that's worldwide. So we've developed a partnership with a US human capital consulting and staffing company. They're about 150 million in revenue. They're helping us deliver the solution. We're in the alpha phase and testing a portal called Decentra Staff that will be leveraged, where companies can come post jobs, individuals can post resumes, and we hope that it'll help boost assistance not only to SingularityNET across its ecosystem of companies who are looking for talent, but also across the entire AI community ecosystem. And SingularityNET will be a big hub there for that. So we've been really busy over the last quarter on these 2 areas. We also have joint ventures that we continue to work on with companies at Singularity Studio, but our main goal of helping to uplift and amplify the community has had a lot of traction over the last month. 2 months, 3 months, actually.
That's a wonderful update, Bill, with a lot to digest there. But one thing I was still missing a little bit. I wonder if you could tell me a little bit about that. Twin protocol. To elaborate a bit on that for our community.
Sure. One of the companies that we are assisting is Twin Protocol. We're quite excited about that. So I'll take my studio hat off and put my Twin hat on, since I am a co-founder at Twin, but studio is assisting with Twin. So the Twin Protocol is leveraging the technology and the talent around the SingularityNET ecosystem to solve a really big problem. We think that we have tremendous utility. This is a token launch. The organization has already been set up offshore. I'm in the US, so I call it offshore. I guess it's offshore for most of us. So we're really excited about launching that token, and we're more excited about the utility, and let me explain. So organizations, as we all know, have alumni, people who are let go, people who take time off, walk out the door, and they take their knowledge with them. And once somebody leaves the company, whether they retire or what have you, it's hard to get that knowledge back. It actually costs companies about $50,000 to $100,000 to replace the knowledge that walks out the door. And in the case of engineering and healthcare, it's probably a lot more. So the Twin Protocol leverages AI technology from SingularityNET, proven technology. We've been building on that. We've been leveraging our teams across the world to build that. And we've come up with a tremendous alpha where we've ingested for a couple of different personas or personalities. One is we have our digital Dr. Ben. We've ingested his videos, his papers, his talks, and we've been able to create a digital version of him that you can ask questions to, mainly in chat form now. And also we did the same thing for well-known longtime business author Napoleon Hill, whose works are out of copyright on the internet. He has about 3,000 pages of work on the internet. So those two examples we could show on a separate call, but we've been able to come up with a really valuable model for ingesting data from individuals and coming up with their digital twin that you can ask questions to. So for companies that lose their employees, now the people that need to access that information can go to their digital twin. The tokenomics behind that are that eventually we're going to have a marketplace and an ecosystem where individuals and subject matter experts can upload their work brain, and then they can offer that up for tokens. So that's the Twin token. The organization's called the Twin Protocol because we're so much more than a token, right? Leveraging this AI. So we're excited about where that's going, and we expect to launch the token this summer. And we're very thankful to SingularityNET and the entire team for helping with that.
That sounds
Thank you so much.
A great perspective to have a digital twin of myself and then go on holiday.
Yeah, can I have?
I'll be with you.
Can I have 10 yams, please?
Yeah.
And then I can go on holiday. It'll be amazing. Thanks very much. And when you do upload yourself into the digital twin, you do also get to keep yourself as well at the same time, right? It's not a one-way travel, is it, Phil?
Well, the goal here is benevolent AGI, so let's hope that the AI keeps us around.
All right, thanks. And listen, well done on the symposiums. The LA symposium particularly had a lot of fantastic feedback. And what was really nice there, I'd love to hear your perspective, that from because I wasn't there, but I saw some of the video of Grace, how Grace was performing in the demo. And I was really proud to be able to report on Twitter and to the community that Grace 100% used her own AI for every single response that she generated throughout that entire demo, which, you know, is to me world leading and groundbreaking. And we've got Alexey out here. I see has his camera on. Alexey is the master engineer of the Grace dialogue system. But tell us your perspective. How did you find Grace? How did it go? Did everybody just love her?
Well, you know, everybody at the symposiums, people come from far and wide around LA, and that's no small feat with the 405 freeway to get there to see Grace. And, you know, they're just as excited before the presentation start to interact with her one-on-one as they are to see her go through and talk about her utility and what she's doing. So obviously very well received. LA was a great presentation by Grace. She was joined by Eddie and Dr. K, the leadership at Awakening Health. And it really was not only effective, but it was really easy to see how this is going to help people and how Grace is going to help people and how she has value, and all the different models across the healthcare spectrum where she has value. So it was fantastic to see her there. Also, Dr. Ben flew in for the symposium as well. And of course, everybody's excited to see him too. So, but Grace was fantastic, Janet. She performed very well at Los Angeles.
She's an amazing robot, and she just goes from strength to strength. She's really out there, world leading in her dialogue and her general capabilities and the complexity of the AI models, all of which interact together in different ways. And so I think that's a nice, neat segue into the AI section. We'll come back to, you had lovely Dianne and Danny there in LA as well. We'll come on to Dianne after we run through the AI section. And thanks so much, Bill. Brilliant to have you here. And you know, the strength and the support and the outreach and the breadth that you bring to SingularityNET and the community is hugely well appreciated. Thank you very much indeed.
Vice versa. Thank you.
Right. Are we going to start with, of course, our core mission is the development of decentralized, benevolent, beneficial, artificial general intelligence. And to do that takes the finest brains on the planet. And so really delighted to introduce Alexey Potapov, because Alexey, I don't know if you've spoken with our community previously. We did a little bit of recording at Christmas, but anyway, delighted to introduce you again. Thank you very much for joining us today. Tell us what's going on OpenCog Hyperon, and I'll go on mute so the dogs don't bark the whole way through.
Thanks, Janet, for introduction, and hi everyone. So in the last few months, our OpenCog Hyperon, the main component, which is a meta language, it has been maturing. So we have been considering different approaches to implement type systems in Meta, and it's an important step because there are many deep connections to fundamentals of mathematics and so on. And Ben considered different ways to conceptualize connections between this stuff and artificial general intelligence. So we are progressing in this way. We introduced some refactoring and improvement of different aspects of the meta interpreter, including support for programs in pure meta, so we can run now meta scripts, and we have been preparing some examples of such meta scripts which cover different aspects of the language, and we actually have had a talk on AGI discussion forum at which we are discussing different approaches to AGI from different people and so on. And we have just presented meta there, so we think it's far from mature enough for external testing and so on, but it's kind of a next stage for us, because other people from our team are starting to play with it, and actually many of them are very interested, and they provide some feedback. So hopefully this core component of the OpenCog Hyperon will be shaping towards something really usable by external developers and so on. And we, besides this core AGI component, we are experimenting with neural symbolic Minecraft agents, and we prepared a demo maybe 3 months ago, and we continue working on it. We are creating our own mod for the Minecraft AI agents, because till now we have been using Malmo, which is compatible with a quite old version of Minecraft, and we want our agents to live in newest versions of Minecraft, and hopefully we will make this mod publicly available in a few months, maybe in July or earlier, or maybe in August, the latest. We hope that it will be quite interesting for people who love Minecraft to have this possibility to attach our Minecraft agents through this mod. And hopefully we will port our Minecraft agents to the Meta language. We have started experimenting with it, and it looks promising. Besides this, we started to work on SingularityDAO project from the AGI side of this project, and we are also experimenting with the possibility to migrate our dialogue system, which was developed for Grace for the Awakening Health project, to Meta language. Of course, this language is not mature enough for this to happen right away, but experiments are also looking promising. So hopefully these things will evolve well, and we will have both Minecraft agents and dialogue system running in OpenCog Hyperon in some future. I guess these are main news and milestones for the OpenCog Hyperon pod.
Amazing. Thank you, Alexey. It's always such an exciting update, and so much going on, making so much progress with Meta and the Minecraft agent. Can I ask a question about the Minecraft agent? So 2 questions, actually. So use of AI for Minecraft agents isn't unique to SingularityNET, but what is unique about our approach to our Minecraft AI agent, number 1? And then number 2, why is doing Minecraft AI agents a step towards AGI? You know, what's the impact? What's the outcome? What's the growth that we expect to come out of it? So 2 questions.
Well, these questions worth an entire seminar devoted to them, but I'll try answering them shortly. So indeed, there are benchmarks and competitions like MineRL. They are focused on end-to-end learning, and basically you need to train your agent using imitation learning, because pure reinforcement learning doesn't work well in such a complex environment. But what you actually have to do is just to train your agent to solve one task or another, and it will be able to do only this. It can be very complex design models and so on, so it's also useful for AI or maybe for AGI as well. But basically these settings misuse the main advantage of the Minecraft world as a testing environment, because it's very rich, it's open-ended, and so on. And what we are doing is we are creating agents which can perform different actions, which can solve different tasks, achieve different goals, and these goals can be set in runtime. So you don't need to pre-train your agents on these specific goals. And on the next step, we will be experimenting with even more open-ended behavior when the agent will experiment with different interactions with the world, and it will not be only a curiosity-based exploration. It will be both curiosity-based and goal-driven. So if you ask the agent to do something, it will be able to do this. So it's not just free exploration, and it's not just very narrow in terms of the range of goals what the agent can do. It's more like how humans do these things, I guess. Okay, and why it is important? Because the Minecraft world is difficult to both neural models and symbolic models. So for neural models, first of all, you need a huge amount of data to train them. And for example, to train the agent to find and mine diamonds, you need millions of frames of human player examples how they do this. And if you need your agent to learn to do something else, you once again need a lot of training data. And that's because behavior in the Minecraft world should be highly compositional, and neural networks are not strong at this. On the other hand, if we consider just symbolic methods, they can do well in lower dimension environments, and in such complex environments as Minecraft, they appear to be very fragile. They fail to do things when something unexpected is happening. Actually, neural networks also fail to do this, but on a higher level of unexpectedness. So if there is just some variation in details, then they will interpolate their behavior. But if you need to do something on the level of plans or some large-scale actions, they, of course, if they encounter something for which they were not trained, they will fail as well. And that's very interesting. It's manageable, so it's not that complex as the real world. So it, on the one hand, it's very challenging for the existing approaches. On the other hand, it's still manageable, so it can allow us to make some incremental steps forward. So that's why it's a very useful environment for the AGI development, I guess.
Thanks so much. I could talk to you all day about this. We really must do a special community event on Minecraft, perhaps when the demo is ready to be shared and the community brought in. So if I heard you right, then the reason why ours is special and different is taken from the back. One, it's better at dealing with unexpected events. Two, it has a broader range of capabilities, more human-like, in that it's not just exploring, and it's got a wide range of goals as well. So it's curiosity, goals, and ability to deal with the unexpected without needing quite the same massive amounts of data as a pure neural model. Would that be a semi-accurate summary?
And compositionality.
And compositionality.
Yeah, good summary, thanks.
Okay, thank you very much. We totally have to do something special on this when it comes out, and because I'm sure the community would love to hear about this. One last very quick question, and I know you're always unerringly honest, Alexey. Is it the best Minecraft agent that we've seen? Would it beat everyone else in a competition? But the competition would have to be would have to include that level of variability and unexpectedness. But is it the best in the world, do we think?
The problem is that it depends on your goal on settings, because if we are using some symbolic input, we just didn't try to get rid of it because otherwise we would need to spend more time on a low-level processing, like maybe simultaneous localization and mapping in 3D from mono images or whatever to recognize better blocks, entities, and so on. We are using some symbolic information, so it's not much. It's like a few bytes per frame, but it helps us. So without it, our agent wouldn't be able to perform as well as it does now, and such challenges as MineRL, as far as I remember, they prohibit to use it. Although Malmo mod it supports this information, so it seems to be okay. In terms of what the agent can do, taking into account what information it gets, yes, I have not seen the agent with such capabilities.
Amazing, beautifully and precisely answered. Thank you so much indeed, Alexey. Right, so moving on from AGI to TrueAGI, we have our mighty Dr. Robert Werko with us, who is the COO of TrueAGI and founder, to give us an update on what exciting things are going on there. Thank you, Alexey. Hi, Robert.
Hi, Janet. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So yeah, lots of exciting things going on as we develop OpenCog Hyperon for the rollout into enterprises for human level general intelligence. So always exciting. Past quarter was pretty exciting. Next quarter, more exciting. What we did basically for the last couple of highlights for the last quarter is there's been a lot of corporate growth, internal, a lot of things going on, but two things I can share is one, we've started actively pursuing partnerships with other organizations. So if you're out there and you're listening to this and you're interested in partnerships, we're investigating those now. I've had many discussions with various partners, and it's exciting that they're excited to join us on the pursuit because things are really ramping up. One internal add that we made to the team was we've announced a new CTO, and that's Chris Poland, and he's has a lot of experience. A great guy to work with. I've been working hand in hand with him on a weekly basis over the last month or so. So it's a great addition to the team. It was definitely needed at this point as we grow toward more of an enterprise model of OpenCog Hyperon. So, I welcome him on board, and it's again a great addition. Another thing is we have started initiating an AGI series. So it's a blog series. We have about 12 planned, and they're on pretty exciting topics in AGI. So I am excited about that, in that I'd like to get the feedback on the topics. The topics are hot topics. So they're both on a technical perspective and on a rollout into the enterprise perspective, market. So we're kind of covering a lot of exciting areas. And I'm assuming that each of these blogs might be worthy of a Q&A or an AMA. So look for that in the future. We're going to be ramping up our marketing activities. So you'll see those coming, but we're still in the early stages of developing them. We have the first few completed. And as we complete enough to kind of roll those out, we'll make those into a series, and we'll decide maybe from the community on which ones they want to talk about. But they're interesting, and I'm sure they're gonna garner a lot of feedback from the community because they're the sort of the hot discussion topics of the current time. Another piece, which is obviously integral, is our R&D developments. We have a few MVPs lined up that we're working on and dealing with those prospective clients. And we've completed a risk assessment of those MVPs and established a technology readiness level to develop the path for the future. So we've completed the R&D development plans for each of the 3 MVPs, and we've actually linked the requirements from the customers to the development plan. So that part on the R&D is exciting. So those are kind of the things that we've been doing all over the last quarter. The next quarter, you'll see a new website. Hopefully it'll be launched within the next couple months, which is a pretty big. It's a new start. So it's basically a it's not an update. It's really just a redesigned from scratch website, which is more easily managed. There's new graphics. Everything's been updated. So you'll see a lot of the current activities going on there. We will also be working on the development, the DevOps architecture, which we started on, but we're going to now kind of tailor it for each of the MVPs. And that I would think that some version of that may hit the website. I mean, there's a base architecture up there, but I think an evolved architecture is something we probably could share to make it general for the enterprises. Because again, we're looking at the markets that we're looking at. There's about 9 primary markets in the AI provider space. So for all of those markets, we're going to adapt this particular architecture so that we span each one is customized. Another thing that we're going to start working on, which is we're taking the risk assessment that we did, and we're going to do a risk management plan. So basically that's going to determine the activities that are added to the existing R&D plan to mitigate or avoid any risks that we see in the next year or 2. And the last piece is focused on a measure of intelligence. Similar to what have been said in other spin-offs, is trying to determine kind of where you are in the AGI space. How close to human are you? You know, we span from where we are today to narrow, and then there's going to be an evolution, right? So it's not like there's this single jump that's going to occur. It's going to happen over years. So how do you measure? And I know there's been a lot of studies and blogs on what the best measure of intelligence is, and that's another topic that you'll see coming out in the blog series. But it's how do we at this present time determine a type of measure? How do we sort of put forth something that adds value to what's already existing? Because I know there are lots of measures of intelligence. I'm not certain that there's been one that's been really decided on what the best measure and criteria of success is. So it's challenging. So it's just going to be an endeavor that will evolve over time, but we need some kind of connection to what's going on out there, and then see if we can come up with something else so that we can gauge that roadmap from narrow AI as we continue into the space of human level. So that's kind of the near term few month future for TrueAGI.
Amazing, Robert. Thank you. It's like it's so great to hear you bring it to life, because we can publish something to the community, but when you read flat words on paper, it's nowhere near the same as somebody telling you all this incredible work that's going on. And I find it, just following on from Alexey's brilliant talk earlier, which of course is the research that your tools are based on, but I find it so inspiring and so exciting that not only are we leading researchers in AGI, but that we're actually already seriously planning the impact of AGI on enterprise and developing MVPs for that. And I was out a couple of weeks back at London FinTech Week. I'm based in the UK, and I was out at the Innovate Finance Conference. Someone made the point during one of the wrap-up sessions that 3 years ago at London FinTech Week, all the talk was about AI and about how AI is going to revolutionize banking. But now 3 years on, it hasn't. It hasn't. I mean, in some ways, there are some amazing new fintech tools, and there are some in maybe less regulated developed developing markets, there are some really innovative lending tools. But outside of risk management, outside of some AML, aside of onboarding, fraud, and of course credit scoring, AI hasn't made the same kind of traction in industry. The narrow AI revolution is very much falling short of expectations and falling short of the hype. And actually our AGI addresses those issues. And it's the issues that Alexey was just talking about with the Minecraft demo can be exactly applied to industry and enterprise applications. It's dealing with the unexpected. So robotics and AI just fall over. So you have this long tail of exception handling, which actually makes the cost benefit negative of implementing AI in many use cases. It's dealing with the unexpected. It's needing giant data sets. And it's also being able to work with highly skewed data sets or data sets with really dirty data sets. And the ability to do more than simply one narrow task and then fall over, to have some ability to transfer learn across applications. So I firmly believe that our AGI is going to be the true flame, that spark that is the catalyst, the spark that lights the blue touch paper of the AI revolution, for sure.
Yeah, in fact, just to give you a little glimpse, one of the AGI series articles is on the limitations of narrow AI. So the need to, I'll pose it as the need to potentially make the jump to general intelligence beyond AI and stitching narrow AIs together to get to general. And so there, in fact, just after we made the announcement, or not the announcement, we made an announcement to go with that as one of the topic areas. There was an article that was written the day after saying how narrow AI could potentially be a dead end toward general intelligence.
Well, yeah, there we go. No dead ends here. All live opening and massively, rapidly developing and expanding and getting very, very real at the moment. So thanks very much, Robert. Super update. And I think we need to do another session on this as well. I think we need to do one purely on the leap from narrow AI to AGI, and maybe what are the stages in between, because we've introduced, I've noticed at SingularityNET, we've got a new phrase called AGI-ish, and AGI-ish could probably benefit from a whole session just on its own. What do we mean by AGI-ish, and how are we bridging that evolutionary journey from narrow to general?
And I think including the discussion topics on the MVPs, because that's the approach we're taking with the MVPs, right? They're not general intelligence-ish yet, but they're the stepping stone to getting there. So it's kind of how we put our internal roadmap in the R&D and evolution to get products at least into the field to start to evolve that technology is our approach.
Yeah. Thank you so much indeed.
Thank you.
We'll have another session on the MVPs as well. I feel sessions upon sessions coming on. And to round up our AI special part of this community update, before we go to Dianne next for Down Galaxy, and then Sophia first with myself and Bill. Matt Iklé, our fabulous Dr. Matt Iklé, our fabulous Chief AI Officer. What is Tononi Phi? And tell us what you've been up to. And another super exciting topic is our AI DSL. Dying to hear how that's coming along.
To begin with, I'm going to try to pull a lot of things together in a very short time to talk about both Tononi Phi and AI DSL. But I'm going to start off in the spirit of decentralization. I have a title, but I view myself more as a coordinator of AI services and resources and research and ideas across the SingularityNET ecosystem. And I'm going to use that. I kind of view that as an analogy towards some of the exciting projects I'm working on. And that's not talking about the stuff that just exciting new stuff that's coming down the pike as of this weekend in different areas. Because as coordinator, of AI, the idea is to allow all of these. I mean, I'm blessed by, you heard it already this morning, my time. Some of the absolute brilliant researchers and developers across our ecosystem that essentially make my job that much easier, although with give and take but as coordinator, the idea is to allow all of these ideas to come to fruition, to reinforce each other, and to create an even better SingularityNET system, allow an even better SingularityNET ecosystem to emerge on its own. Not because any one person is doing all the work, but because of this coordination of researchers' ideas across the ecosystem. So I'm going to use that analogy because that is the idea of TNONIFY in a larger context. So I'm going to start off with that as a backdrop. I want to talk essentially of all the myriad, incredible, exciting research projects that I get to see, and all the brilliant researchers I get to interact with. I'm going to talk about two that I've been involved with for some time now. I'm going to start with TNONIFY, and I'll also talk about AI DSL and their similarities in a lot of ways. So TNONIFY, or actually integrated information theory, is an idea that was created about a decade and a half ago by a University of Wisconsin psychiatrist and neuroscientist named Giulio Tononi. I hope I got the pronunciation right. It's an evolving system and calculus for studying and quantifying consciousness. Phi, what is kind of the quantitative measure that he created, and it's undergone, the measurement of phi itself has undergone multiple evolutionary changes since its initial idea, and whether or not it actually captures this idea of consciousness, one can argue it certainly is, in a sense, a neural correlate of consciousness. And it has been experimentally demonstrated in medical settings under anesthesia that there seems to be something to this as a measurement of consciousness, though it has its own calculational difficulties that come along with it. I mentioned TNONIFY because one of the things that I've been, just prior to this week's pod meeting, I was actually looking back at some code that I had written, and I'm preparing to send over for inclusion on the SingularityNET marketplace, so that we have a system that actually, and in a scalable manner, can calculate phi in real time, We've actually done some experiments already through measuring short-term importance within OpenCog during some conversations. We've done experiments of a meditation session led by Sophia. And the results are tantalizing. There seems to be, when interesting ideas are being talked about, this is through OpenCog's Economic Attention Networks, or ECAN system. When interesting things are spoken about, there seems to be some spikes in fights. It's not conclusive, but it's certainly tantalizing. And by releasing it on the platform, we can begin experimenting to see really, let's do a controlled experiment to see what settings and parameter settings and so on can lead to greater phi. The idea again and getting back to it, the idea is that modular interaction. So if you think of murmuration of starlings, that's the idea I talked about of bringing SingularityNET to become a better version of itself. The idea is that the whole, in some sense, is greater than the sum of its parts. And that's what I think about the SingularityNET ecosystem. Moving to AI, I could go on forever on this, but I don't want to belabor the point. I'd also like to talk about AI DSL, which is, we are working in phase 2, and in a certain sense, more broadly speaking, you can think of it as kind of a similar idea. The idea is to allow developers to, they're going to be publishing on SingularityNET's marketplace. The idea of DSL is for a user to create a description in a smart contract, for example. Here's what I want the AI I want to do. It needs to take this input. This is the kind of output I want. These are the constraints that we have in terms of processing and quality and accuracy. Go find an AI to do that. And most likely no such AI has been developed for that specific use case. So the idea is that by sending it to the marketplace, and this is long-term, but the idea is that AI DSL will say, hey, well, we don't have anything quite matching it, but this AI service says it can help with this part. And let me see, think of AI services as Lego blocks, the AI services on the marketplace. Let me see if I can connect with some other services and we can build an AI just for you. So that's kind of the long-term vision of AI DSL. And you can kind of see this same kind of process happening in that everything is happening autonomously, automatically. And it kind of goes to Marvin, the name's escaping me, Minsky, but Society of Minds, where you have all these AIs on the marketplace collaborating again with each other and coming up with new AIs to fulfill needs. And they're coming up with these answers on their own. So you can kind of see this, again, the whole greater than the sum of the parts idea in play. And I'm just going to leave it there, because those are just an example of two of the particular projects I'm hands-on with right now, along with our brilliant team.
Our amazingly brilliant team. I'd say anybody watching has got like the world's greatest attack of jealousy for the incredible jobs and the incredible work we get to work with here at SingularityNET. But if you do have an attack of jealousy, please apply for jobs with us, or stay tuned and come work with us. Apply for deep funding with Dianne, or come and develop some AI on our platform. We're open and we're inclusive, and we want everybody here. Matt, I can't let you go. We've got to move on, because we've got three more pods we really must cover. Probably 4 pods we really must cover: the platform, Dianne, Sophiaverse, and deep funding. And we've only got 20 minutes left. But I can't let you go with those tantalizing comments. Well, 2 questions. Let me. There's always two with me. The back end question is, when you said the AI will go look around the platform, say, we've got a couple of AIs over here that do this. It's not exactly what you're looking for. We can build it for you. Is that we a human we or an AI we?
So it depends how far along in AI DSL we are.
Okay.
So we're building it with the understanding that this should be fully autonomous. Now, early on, there's probably going to be some hands-on, some human work as we, because this is we're in phase 2 right now. Phase 1, we kind of were able to use some homotype type theory, some fancy math stuff, which is infusing Hyperon and Meta as well, to prove that the connections, that the services are doing what they're aiming to do, and that the types match, and as you start trying to connect services. So ideally it's going to be automated, but it's going to take quite some research to get there. It's fundamental research that we're trying to speed up. But
of course we are, and it feels like we're accelerating. Of course, we've added in our community update, we're up to 135 people in SingularityNET now, which is about 4x where we were at the start of when we did the phase 2 vote. So there's certainly a massive acceleration in respect of our talent onboarding and our commitment to these projects. So back to the tantalizing results. So did I hear right, or did I hear wrong? Or did you just say you're seeing some early tantalizing results that might possibly be associated with the very beginnings of consciousness arising in our AI in these Tononi 5 spikes?
You heard correctly. This is some work I did a few years ago and presented at a workshop at the Triple AI Symposia at Stanford. And it was well received with people wanting the code, but it wasn't quite ready to be released, and that's what I've been circling back to in the last few weeks.
Fantastic.
To clean it up a bit, and so it's tantalizing. That was an experiment where the system was fed words related to insects and then also to poisons. And then the connection was made internally in OpenCog's atom space to insecticide. And you could see the processing internally of the short-term importance measured by Tononi phi at each stage increasing a little bit after the ideas were introduced. So that was the first one. That was the tantalizing idea. But again, that's one experiment, and it's tantalizing, but until we actually do more, can't say, hey, this is. But this actually goes to Robert when he was talking about how do we measure AGI. This is one possible measure, along with other measures as well. I think it's going to be a multi-dimensional measurement that's probably we're going to want to use for measuring progress towards AGI.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. And we need to get it on the platform, as you say, and then from there, let the community come in and start really expanding the applications.
And I'm just going to finish up with one quick comment, because I think it's important to note that phase 2 is being funded by the Catalyst program at this stage, which has been revolutionary in and of itself, because that brought in to my sphere all these outside researchers from the broader community with amazing ideas as well, and inputs, and trying to filter all that in across our own ecosystem. So kudos there as well.
Kudos, huge thanks to Cardano, to the community and the executive team at Cardano for their amazing support. So I see Anand has turned on your camera. Anand, wonderful to see you. Thank you so much for joining us. Shall we do platform next? Platform update? I know everybody's really going to want to hear. Obviously, first off, I think everyone wants to say huge congratulations for the smooth and successful and pretty much drama-free implementation of the ERC20 converter. So that was you and your team leading that. Huge congratulations on that. It's all going very well. Tell us what more have you got in store for us over the coming months on the platform, please.
Sure. Thank you so much for the kind words, Janet. I mean, we are very, very proud in terms of what we did with the converter, ERC20 token converter. Just to give some numbers, we have about 14.3 million AGIX which were converted from Ethereum to Cardano, and about 0.4 million AGIX tokens which were converted from Cardano to Ethereum. These numbers in itself speak volumes in terms of what we've been able to achieve, and also the success of the project. On the NTX, we had about 3.5 million tokens converted from the Ethereum to the Cardano platform, and about 2.5 million from the Cardano to the Ethereum platform. Right. The other important piece that we have recently gone live with and continue to open multiple windows is on the NuNet, for airdrop for NuNet. So far we have claimed about 11 million NTX tokens, and we had about 8,000 plus registrations for the airdrop rewards on the NTX token. This is with respect to the NuNet and the NuNet OCAM. So we're going to go live with the voting portal, which is in line with deep funding that Jan has been mentioning. So people will be able to vote on the proposals that they wish to see go through. So we are very excited to see that piece go live early next week. In terms of the next items that we're going to be working on is integration with Nami wallet. This is important. Nami wallet is the Cardano wallet that we're trying to integrate with. So this is going to be an important piece of an integration for us in terms of what we're trying to do with the Cardano blockchain. We will also start working on the loyalty airdrops, to reward our AGIX tokens, stakeholders with AGIX tokens, and continue to honor the commitment that they have with us so far. We are also excited to, we've actually started our work on, the training models. So far, this is a piece that's been missing on our platform, and I think it's high time we did something, and we are doing something. Hopefully, we will soon, be live with, training your models as a feature on your platform, and the entire platform is going to be supporting and to train your models and create models and all that kind of stuff. So, and then you can make inference calls using a model of your interest. So it's going to be a lot more sophisticated and customized. We're also working on, towards the Q4, we're looking at also supporting the entire marketplace and also the publisher portal onto the Cardano blockchain. So that's an ambitious goal. And hopefully towards the end of Q4, we do see some good traction out there. Yeah, so that's the update on the platform.
That's fantastic. Thank you. Anand. And tell me, the training data models and the inference on the platform, how much easier is that going to make it for AI developers to come and use the platform? And how much increased adoption are we expecting to see as a result of that?
Well,
the last question is probably one for maybe marketing or product, whatever.
Yes.
But tell everyone how much easier it's going to be for them to use the platform.
I think this is something that a lot of AI developers have been asking, including our in-house AI developers, right? Because most of the calls that you make today as part of the SNet platform are all inference calls, right? And you can't even really specify a model, that you would like to choose. For example, if you want to identify Asian faces, you don't really have a way to do that. I mean, if you just want to train Asian faces, that's a model that you could customize and build and create. I think this feature is something that's been on the records, but never really got to execution phase. But I do have a strong feeling that a lot of AI developers would want, and this is a really, really strong feature, apart from what we have done as part of our decentralized efforts on bringing things onto our platform, the SNet platform.
Okay, brilliant. Thank you so much indeed. So AI developers, watch this space and come and develop with us. There are going to be a lot more opportunities, and we're also working with 2 data providers as well to help support the provision of data to developers in developing models. And also I should add, while you're talking about that, is in conjunction with the move of the platform onto Cardano, around about that time, we're planning to do a significant batch of AI services released onto the platform. We'll have maps, Tononify, of course. We've got a number of music tools that we've been developing with Jam Galaxy that we're planning to put onto the platform. And we've been developing plans for a killer app or a couple of different killer apps that a number of the organization are all working on as well. So 2022 is going to be the year of material scale up of services on the platform, and we're super excited about that as well. And thank you so much, Anand, for everything you're doing to make that happen for us. And so speaking of music tools, where is our virtuoso saxophonist and amazing leader, Dianne? Hello, Dianne.
Hello.
Who's behind you?
Thank you. Well, here we have, I don't know which side it is for you guys, Desdemona Robot, our lovely lead in the Jam Galaxy incident band. And then we have Dr. Ben Gertzel playing the saxophone. So I'm excited to tell you all about that. My name is Dianne Krouse, and hello, I'm the CEO of Jam Galaxy and co-founder with Dr. Ben Gertzel. And Jam Galaxy is a music platform. It's an AI-driven music platform. We have AI-driven tokenomics, and we have AI-driven music tools that you were just referring to, that we are really excited to bring to the musician community, because they'll be able to create all kinds of content that then they'll be able to sell. So Jam Galaxy is very different from other streaming platforms in that it's user-centric, it's artist-centric. So when you listen to a musician, the musician, based on our models, we're going to have a bunch of different models. One is like an NFT-based subscription model, and there's another type of subscription model. But the actual money is going to go to the artist that you're listening to, and not to the artists that are getting the most listens, which is what happens on every other music platform right now. So that's the big difference. So, and then we're also going to be teaching artists how to sell NFTs and how to create content with them. And there's going to be a bunch of other really cool tokenomics tools on our site that we'll be teaching you all about. And right now it sounds probably like a lot of mystery, but our biggest thing is to be able to educate musicians and fans on how to use these tools to be able to support your favorite musician and to listen to some great music instead of, you know, the music that the platforms are feeding you right now with their algorithms. We're going to have different types of AI-driven recommender systems and content systems that are going to just bring you a much richer experience in our eventual Jamverse, our metaverse. So, well, we have a lot of really exciting things coming up right now. May is a huge month. And next week, actually, already, we're going to be filming a 3D volumetric recording that we'll then be able to take and hold a concert in the metaverse. And then we'll also be creating NFTs out of that. And back in January is what we called it, we recorded with Desdemona and the Jam Galaxy Incident Band. And we'll be releasing our first NFT towards the end of this month. Just a really awesome song featuring Desdemona, but we'll also have Sophia with an appearance in our NFT, and we're really excited about that. And then launching right into June, we're going to be playing at NAMM down at the Anaheim Convention Center and promoting the Jam Galaxy. And the cool thing about the Jam Galaxy Incident Band is we're taking our music and AI and tokenomics model, and we're actually kind of living through that experience to develop this platform, along with a lot of our initial artists, starting out in the Seattle music community, and we'll also be starting out in the Nashville community and also some communities in the UK, because we're building more of a community-based platform where you'll be able to dive into communities, you'll be able to dive into the stories about artists and about songs and kind of into the richness of music. It's just going to be a completely different experience. So we're really excited to perform at NAMM. It's a National Association of Music Makers. And then towards the end of the month, we're going to be performing at NFT NYC. We're going to be hosting a party there, so we'll be selling some NFTs for admission to our big party with the Jam Galaxy Incident Band. I play saxophone in the band, Ben plays keyboards, and then we have Dr. Gabriel Axelmontes, who plays guitar and all other kinds of really cool instruments. We have Dianne Newcomb, who's our artist outreach person, who's also in one of our initial bands with a member of Pearl Jam, Mike McCready, and they'll be making NFTs for the Rockfords, following our Jam Galaxy NFTs. There's just so much happening, and it's so exciting. And we're also going to be playing at Rare Bloom in October, and then there's one more festival we're playing at, actually a couple more. But we do have a new website, so go up there. It's still a transitionary website, but I tried to put up as much information as possible so that artists and fans can learn more about the Jam Galaxy and can sign up for the Jam Galaxy for our newsletters and to find out about our NFT drops. And yeah, it's going to be a great month. I'm really excited about it. So thank you.
Thank you, Dianne. It's absolutely one of our most well, we have so many exciting projects on the go at the moment. This one mixes a glamour and passion and beauty and emerging consciousness. So all of this is like super exciting. For the community, how do we connect this to the SingularityNET mission.
Well,
Dawn, tell us.
Well, the way we connect this to the SingularityNET mission of creating artificial general benevolent intelligence, I mean, this is the big thing also that I'd love artists to understand, is that SingularityNET is creating beneficial benevolent artificial intelligence. And there's a big difference with that, in that it's decentralized and it benefits everyone, not just the few. And so the way Jam Galaxy is supporting that mission is we start to train, just even starting with music, which is a beautiful thing, but, training our AI on really good beneficial missions. So we'll also be supporting a bunch of different, charities and things like that. And so out of all of this, eventually, Jam Galaxy is going to grow even beyond music. And part of that is like just training, providing training data for a benevolent, beneficial, artificial general intelligence. And it's something that I'm super, super passionate about. So that's kind of all the underlying part of all this music. And then being a spinoff and also having Fen as our co-founder, we have just a really rich background of AI scientists and really just great new thinking in how we approach artificial intelligence and the future of our planet. So I'm thrilled to be part of this group of really incredible people. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you. There's more I want to come back to. There's a couple of points there I want to come back to, if I may, please. But I see Peter and Haley have to jump off. Peter, would you just say hi to the community before you go and tell us, is there anything what are you most excited about? What are you most excited about right now?
Right now? Well, that has to be the ambassador program, which is about to launch.
Tell us about it a minute, little snapshot.
Yeah, sure thing. We're about to launch it. That's the main thing. It's a program that will be truly for the community and by the community. And there's some significant budget available. So it will be a great way to earn yourself some extra tokens while spreading the word on SingularityNET. And to kick things off, we'll host a series of town hall meetings. First one will be next week on May 10th. And this will help to check in if the current plans align a little bit with what the community actually wants. And yeah, I personally see the ambassador program as a perfect playground for experimenting with transparency and progressive decentralization. So there will be a lot of room for community input on the design of the program itself. And on the transparency side of things, for example, all the meeting notes will be public and the decision making will be public. When tasks get reviewed, this will be done publicly, and when they get rewarded, this will be done publicly. And besides that, the ambassadors will also be able to interface with the supervisory council. So it will provide a structural community input into the SingularityNET team. That's about it. I'm really looking forward to help shape up the ambassador program and hopefully together with you. So.
Totally. Thank you so much, Peter. And I'm sure, I don't know if the community have seen you before. Everybody knows you and loves you. And I see so much thanks for you and the channels, the amazing work you do on the community. And also, you're like my what's the word? My philosopher's stone. Would that be the right word? You always bring the essence of the community to me when I have decisions to make. And you bring the perspective with the integrity, the transparency, your passion for progressive decentralization. So we're very lucky to have you here at SingularityNET, and we're very lucky with the community we have, and we've put the two of them together, and I'm sure we are, and we always will be, the best decentralized project on the planet. Haley, anything you'd like to say before you go, or do you want to just say hi?
I am also extremely excited about the ambassador program that Peter's helping to lead, and the community pod that we've initiated for endeavors like this that are more about increasing permeability between the team and the community, so that everybody gets to be involved and contribute to beneficial singularity and everything that we're passionate here at SingularityNET. Other than that, we've done a small update on the website recently, and we're on the process of a full redesign. And we're getting ready to support a lot of token launches through the year, as well as continuing to support Deep as it finishes off its first round and goes into voting, and as the ensuing rounds start, and really building that developer community within SingularityNET. So lots of exciting stuff going on.
That's amazing, Haley, and you're also a much loved and familiar face, certainly voice to the community. And listen, big thanks for I want to just say hello to Krouse before she goes. I want to say big thanks to you for those 2 amazing updates that you pushed out on Saturday. The way you pulled together all of those ecosystem updates across such a complex ecosystem and publish them so well, you do an absolutely amazing job for us. So thanks for those 2 updates. They seem to have gone down really well, and community, keep giving us feedback. If it works, we'll do more. If it doesn't work, we'll do something different. But thank you both, Peter and Haley. I know you have to run. And a just very quick hello to Krouse. Krouse Chen is the newest addition to the SingularityNET team, having joined us today as CEO of our stablecoin. Krouse, would you give us maybe just a quick 2-3 minute introduction to yourself? Please welcome.
Sure. Thank you, Janet. It's been amazing, to hear all the brilliant ideas and all the great things going on. And I'm really very excited to onboard. Yeah. So I think I will start today, and tonight I will be hearing all the funding from the pitch from the ecosystem. Hope I will get understanding of what's going on, in more details. So it was great to be working with all you guys, and let's build something great and let's have fun.
Amazing. Tell us where you've come from, Krouse. We're super stoked to have taken you on board with your crypto, finance, fintech background. A little bit about yourself for a moment.
Sure. Sorry, I missed that part. Yeah, so I worked in the bank in HSBC for a couple of years as a corporate banker, and then later I joined a fintech company leading their treasury team as a treasury director. And then now I'm taking my master's degree from UPenn for computer science. So I have been investing in crypto for a few years now. And, my aspiration is to build something in DeFi and hope to leverage on all my past experience and my passion in both tech and crypto. So that's a brief introduction of myself.
Amazing. We're super stoked to have you on board. Thank you so much, Krouse. Thank you for that brief introduction. Right, so we've lost Bill. Bill was going to do the Sophiaverse update with me. I just want to come back to Dianne, if you've got a couple more minutes, Dianne, on the Jam Galaxy, because there are a couple of really important points that I personally find powerfully moving and motivating about Jam Galaxy. And one is, having been involved in January and sometimes getting to play the robot in the concerts, which is really extraordinary. Her lyrics are all AI generated through our transformer neural nets. And we're bringing the art of music making to a new level, aren't we? Curating, we're feeding in some of Ben's own poetry as well as some other poetry. Out of it, we then curate from the output some incredibly, it's like Oracle, they're like future Oracle lyrics that we're producing via the Jam Galaxy incident. And we have plans for Desdemona to again emerge as a consciousness. We're going to build future ability for her to create lyrics on the fly, to jam, to dance with the music. And actually she's another really important arm for us in developing consciousness through art and poetry and with these incredible models. And so in that way, I think it's really important. And I also think it's really important as for people outside of the community who already love SingularityNET. There are people who understand and get and love Singularity, and then there's the rest of the world. But this is a real way for us to bring that vibe of the Singularity and the message of the Singularity and the profile, because we're getting huge amounts of profile. We haven't even launched our first single yet. So the PR and marketing opportunities, but the additional channel for the SingularityNET voice, and of course, Ben's, incredible genius, speaking through a beautiful robot with your incredible music and heart-led, brilliant leadership. It's actually I think it's going to be a huge accelerator for SingularityNET in 2022.
Yeah, thank you. I'm really, really excited to, be talking more with the community about all of this. And yeah, those lyrics, the lyrics that Desdemona has with the band are so beautiful and so amazing. And while we are recording, we're making up the music around her based on what she's saying. And it's just this stuff that blows your mind. Like, I could never write anything like this, So it's like, that's also part of the experience. For the musicians, while we're there recording, we're listening to these words for the first time. And I mean, I get goosebumps when I'm sitting there playing, because it's like, oh my gosh, like, yeah, it is sort of oracle-ish, and I just, it's just the coolest thing, and I'm really, really excited about it. So thank you for bringing that up, because that's, a huge part of it. Yeah, thank you.
It is a huge part of it, and I get goosebumps, and sometimes it makes me cry, and then sometimes it makes me just feel super conscious and connected. It's extraordinary music. It's on another plane. It's a whole new genre that we are launching, and I cannot but see our first single being #1 in every country on the planet this summer. It really is incredibly good music. That's the big surprise about it all. You think SingularityNET are doing a band, oh my god, the music is absolutely mind-blowingly good. So everybody watch out, watch this space for lots and lots of exciting Jam Galaxy work. And your point about benevolence is so important, because you're spearheading fairer distribution of wealth and fairer remuneration of artists, which is massively long overdue and very much in keeping with our core values. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, thanks. We're really excited about it, and thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dianne. It's amazing having you in our community. That's 3 women CEOs we've had here today. Right on. Yeah, not bad at all. So Jan, what should we do? I think we're out of time. Bill was going to join me for the Sophiaverse update. I think possibly we'll do Sophiaverse a separate catch up on Sophiaverse and Hypercycle, because there are 2 main outwardly facing projects that we haven't covered today. I guess we are out of time. I could do a very brief capsule on Sophiaverse, which is, of course, there's the NFT drop coming up at Decentraland before the end of this quarter, which is very, very exciting. We're in the process of developing land sale, 3D models and landscapes for the metaverse, and the Sophia Age of Singularities game, SEOS, which is how we're currently thinking about and talking about Sophiaverse. On the SingularityNET AI team have launched and are really up and running and mobilized, importing the Sophia personality to the SingularityNET dialogue system. And so really merging all of our latest, greatest, incredible, complex and brilliant dialogue system in with Sophia, the Sophia avatar. And we are, of course, developing the design options for the AI R&D architecture for the emergence of AGI in the metaverse, as well as design options for the AI blockchain interface. And we're also developing content tools for generating AI content tools for generating content in the metaverse using transformer neural nets to be able to generate user-generated 3D VR environments. So it's massively cool stuff going on in Sophiaverse, and I probably haven't done half justice to it, so we could maybe do a further update on that. And then Hypercycle is another really exciting area of focus for us. And as we still have Sridhar on the line, Sridhar might tell us something about the Hypercycle blockchain development, but we are very much mobilizing Hypercycle. We're building the team, building capability. The technical designs are well underway. The partnership with Toda, of course, is working extremely well. And we'll all be seeing Tufi in Seattle in a couple of weeks' time to further progress with that. Hypercycle, of course, being our layer 2 architecture our layer two blockchain as a side chain of Cardano, which is a novel blockchain framework, leveraging the TODA IP ledgerless protocol, our proof of reputation, and Cardano's UTXO model and Hydra sidechain framework. So we're hyper ventilating, we're hyper excited about Hypercycle. Sridhar, before we duck off, lovely to hear anything you've got to add for us on the blockchain side, and anything to add on Hypercycle, please.
Sure, Janet.
Hi, thanks for waiting so patiently.
No issues. Hi, everyone.
Hi, are you going to turn your camera on?
Yes, of course.
Hi, Sridhar. Yes. Hi, Sridhar. Hi. Lovely to see you.
So, hi, everyone. So, it's nice to hear great progress across the project. So, and you know that for all the projects, one of the key common point is leveraging various blockchain platforms, and my team is the one who provides or enable them to leverage the blockchain capabilities, from token launch to the utilization of those tokens for various services in respect to platforms, right? And one of the recent deployment of the contract is for ERC20 converter, and where we heard from the community, we also heard from our marketing team saying that we cannot go with the lock and unlock approach, instead go with mint and burn approach, and which has been successfully implemented in our contracts and then deployed them on the ERC20 converter. And we're not stopping there. Now we want to even minimize the process of conversion, where we are integrating with Nami wallet, right? Is a wallet provider from the Cardano end, and we have successfully completed a proof of concept, and then implementation is going on from the Nami wallet integrations, which actually reduces an explicit transfer of tokens outside of our conversion tool. So that will be seamlessly integrated into the tool itself now. So that's coming soon. And as a NuNet team mentioned, that we are enabling the NuNet tokens to be available on the BSC, which they are available now, and we have integrated with various liquidity pool providers on the BSC, and then we have deployed the yield farming contracts to enable some of the yielding capabilities for the NuNet tokens, or for the contributors who has done their contributions to the liquidity pools on BSC. And very interestingly, on the Mindplex, so there's the first time we are trying with an hybrid the blockchain platforms. It's not just one blockchain, and we want to seamlessly provide a single experience, even though we have hybrid blockchain implementations on the Mindplex contracts, right? So we actually tried first with Ethereum, and then we found out that it is becoming more and more complex for the users to pay upfront, and also for us from the operational cost point of view. So we have taken the advantage of both L1 and L2 layer of the Ethereum networks, and we're able to provide a seamless experience to the user. And we're very proud to say that the architecture is working very well, and the contracts has been implemented, and now the integration pieces is going on. So that's very good story from the Mindplex point of view. And from Rejuve, so that's where we are integrating NFT as an identity of the users into the overall platform, and that is pretty much completed. And we also done the user data identity, where we are storing the data securely outside of the blockchain, and at the same time generating the identities, and then the hash generation right onto the on-chain, and mapping that to the user. So we have a data NFTs and user identity NFTs, and then the product NFTs, and having a one-to-one mapping on how these NFTs are, or how the data NFTs has been used for the respect to product research, and then implementation of those respective products, right? So that's pretty much going on very well, and I can say we are almost at the last stage of implementation of those NFTs, and we have a few more things to come up in Rejuve, so which are in the pipeline, which we are going to work. And in addition to that, so from Jam Galaxy, right? So we have great experience with NFTs now with Rejuve project. So we're going to take that knowledge and implement for Jam Galaxy. And we started actually discussing with respect to teams and understand what is the need of the blockchain features, and what type of NFTs that we can leverage for Jam Galaxy needs. So we have started those discussions, and then maybe by this week, we're going to have one of the dedicated team member to help with Jam Galaxy team. And at the same time, now we heard from Anand saying that we're going to have the platform on the Cardano side. right? And we're also working with our partners to build some of these smart contracts on Cardano, Plutus-based smart contracts, to deploy the staking platform, which can be used across all the tokens that we have right now. Rather than just having AGX token, we want to take this staking concept into the SingularityDAO DeFi platform, which will help us to bring all our tokens into single staking interface, right? So that will be a simple experience for the user rather than going with multiple portals or the platforms that we have right now. So we want to seamlessly integrate everything into one place. So to do all this with a small team is very difficult, and we need definitely great human power to support all these projects. So we are adding 5 more team members into our team who are going to help us to achieve the goals of every project. Right? And we definitely know that there are a lot of challenges in every project, and we want to bring this team and then try to help this project to achieve their milestones. So that's one of our greatest objectives that we want to target for the next couple of quarters. So that's a brief summary about the blockchain team, what we are working, and we're very eager to help all the project teams, and it is giving a great learning opportunity for us because each project is a unique project for us at the end of the day, right? So we have to learn and then bring these learnings across other projects. And that also helping us to build a reusable set of components that can be used across various other projects, right? So for example, like whatever we have built for SingularityDAO, we are able to get some of the components to be used within the NuNet platform, or some of those components to be used within the Rejuve. The same way how we are bringing the Nami wallet integration into the ERC20 converter tool, we want to use that for our staking portal. So that we have a complete wallet integration. So we are now focusing more towards standards, and at the same time following the reusability of our modular approach that we want to build and then use it across the projects. So that's a brief about the blockchain team and what we are working on.
That's amazing, thank you. Sridhar is our incredible Chief Blockchain Officer, and we are massively lucky to have Sridhar on the team, one of the without a doubt, one of the world's best blockchain technologists, and the most committed and hardest working, and also the kindest and the nicest as well. So thank you very much for all that. We might mention that we are also in talks with a significant prominent education provider to establish a blockchain academy in Addis Ababa in Ethiopia, using the amazing hiring and training skills that we have in Ethiopia. So that's how we're going to that's how we're currently working on planning towards building further blockchain capability, because clearly you can never have too many Plutus and Haskell skilled programmers or smart chain or smart contract builders in 2022 with the explosion of decentralized AI and decentralization generally. So that would be super. And Hypercycle, anything to comment on Hypercycle? I don't know to what extent you're engaged in that so far.
Yes, as you already mentioned, right? So we have underlying technology like leveraging Tora protocol, right? And we're also looking at Hydra, which is again a protocol from Cardano, right, to enable the concurrency of transactions, and especially when we want to have more micropayments and increase the throughput on the transactions that we are looking at, especially for the AI platforms. We want to take that Hydra, what Cardano team is working on, and bring that and plug it into the Hypercycle, what we are visualizing as an L2 layer for Cardano.
All right.
So it's a lot to go there, and we are also researching some of the areas on how we can leverage or how we can bring things together, right? So we have the extended UTXO model from Cardano. We have Hydra coming up. Right, and we got a basic understanding of how the Hydra is working, and we are very closely working with the IOHK team on that. And we are working with Tora team to understand their protocol on how do we bring all this together seamlessly, and at the same time enabling for AI needs. It's definitely a big challenge, and we have a great team to come up with the solutions for those, and we are working on those.
Thank you. And while you mentioned the IOHK team, Anand, I don't know if you've still got your camera handy, but we really need to say a big shout out to our friends at IOHK for all their support with the ERC20 converter, and for all of the very close technological development partnership that we enjoyed together with the technical team at IOHK. So Hello, and a very big thank you to the guys at IOHK. You're outside now and it's dark, obviously. And
yes, sorry.
So, yeah. Do you want to say thank you to the IOHK people?
Of course. Thank you so much. I don't think this would have been possible without all the support and guidance and collaborations, right? So cheers to more successful partnership that we're going to be doing, and we're looking forward to work a lot more into the future.
We certainly are. It's a beautiful partnership. We're thrilled to be embracing the Cardano community as well as the Cardano technology team. So hopefully this for some of our new Cardano friends, now that we've got the converter live, hopefully this pod update will have given you a really good broad-based introduction to SingularityNET, who we are, what we're doing, and how I think, I mean, just to I'm moving towards a wrap up. I've got another call in 6 minutes with Ben. Moving towards wrap up. Is there anything Renata or Edwin or Marek would like to just, or Jan, defunding? Give us 2 minutes on defunding, Jan, please, first, because I know you had a massive whoosh of applications at the weekend.
Yes, it's turning into a real success right now. So I'm really happy to see that. So we have two pools, one with max 150K of rewards and one with 40K of rewards. And pool A for 150 has now 21 proposals come in. The round one has now officially closed since yesterday. So this is the end count, 21 for pool A and 25 for pool B. And they're very diverse. We have some proposals that are really in-depth technical proposals. We have some there that are really pragmatic proposals. We have some that excel in their ethical vision. So yeah, it will be very interesting to see which of these things are most appealing to our community. Because Peter already mentioned that we're doing the ambassador program in order to decentralize and have governance in our organization. And deep funding is similar. Well, it's not just about funding, it's also about decentralization and putting some of the governance of our organization in the hands of the community. So I'm counting on all of you to start voting when the voting portal opens in a week or so is the plan. And I'm really looking forward what your preference will be, and it will be a little bit different, this kind of voting. So we are making changes across the board. Well, I don't have enough time to tell everything, but we're doing great voting, meaning you can vote each project on a scale from 1 till 10, where 10 is excellent and 1 would be very poor, and each project needs to score at least a 6.5 to be eligible for funding. So go vote and vote wisely. Really think about, will this project add value to the wonderful project that we're engaged in with all of us? That would be my main message to all of you. And I can talk about this for half an hour, but I'll cut it here right now in respect of time. You're muted, Janet.
Thank you very much, Jan. It's super exciting to see all of those proposals come in and the adoption and the acceleration that we're going to see on the platform as a result. And I think probably as well that this recording will help people to start to understand actually how they will fit in with the ecosystem, with all the incredible work we're doing. So Renata and Edwin, you've got 80 seconds each to give us your HR highlights first. Renata, firstly, thank you. You made such a ginormous impact on SingularityNET. I think you've hired over 100 people since you joined us in September across SingularityNET, SingularityDAO, NuNet, and really you're an absolute accelerator of our success. We couldn't have done what we've done without you. So thank you, Renata. What are you most excited by?
Hello. Well, it's always a pleasure to help and to see this brilliant company and brilliant people who has joined it, and also made and has been making a huge difference in all these results that everyone has just shared. I will try to be very quick. We grew circa of 200% last year. Was a very busy year, but this year we already grew circa of 40%. From January to 30th of April, we have hired 38 people long-term contract, 2 short-term contract, 4 volunteers. It is a number of 44 new joiners. We had only 2 leavers, and we had 4 people transferred to NuNet. I would like to get the opportunity to announce or advertise our open positions. All of them are published at our jobs page. You can access and see the job spec there, and also how to send CVs. By the way, CVs should be sent to recruitment at SingularityNET.io. Our opening roles are Chief Marketing Officer, PR and Social Media Management Lead, Data-Driven Marketing Analyst, Token Launch Marketer and Copywriter, PR and Marketing Analyst. This person should be based in USA. DP Funding Coordinator. It is a part-time position for now, just at the beginning. Platform Product Owner, Financial Controller, and Blockchain Developers. Also check our webpage to see positions open at SingularityDAO and NuNet.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Renata. Thanks for that update. Edwin, 30 seconds on partnerships. Obviously, you can't share any names, but nice to introduce Edwin, who's helping us with our partnerships at SingularityNET in the lead here. It's a phenomenally fast-paced and dynamic space.
Okay, 30 seconds. So yeah, hello everyone. Quite a lot of collaborations going on with our active and also soon-to-be partners. You can see this all from our new partnership dashboard, which we posted to the community yesterday. We really are set to have an explosion of partners in the coming weeks and months. So yeah, plenty of exciting stuff in the pipeline. 3 companies that have just recently signed. We're just working on developing the PR and some cross-marketing campaigns. One's in the startup metaverse, which is a really incredible project, incredible team, and 2 commercial partners in the Middle East. So it's just super exciting how many great teams we're going to be working alongside. Yeah, around 10 in the advanced stage, which is across professional services, crypto, AI tech, commercial, education, and genetic research. And the team are working very hard to, get aligned, and we should, get these across the line very soon. Yeah, and we're also in active discussion with around 12 super cool projects. A really nice mixture of industries, to name a few: agri-tech, social impact, some in the financial service, and music and NFTs. So yeah, never a dull moment, and I can't wait to share more with you as these progress. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much indeed. Okay, so folks, I'm going to wrap up, and I'm going to come back to Matt's analogy of Tononify and our organization, the whole being more than the sum of its parts. What we realize, and Sridhar touched upon it earlier, how we can leverage technologies developed for one spin-off for the rest of our spin-offs. And our ecosystem is highly synergetic, incredibly dynamic, and we really work extremely well across such a fast-paced set of fast-moving technologies to actually leverage multiple emergent synergies across all of our different ecosystem. And yeah, that's what we're all about here at SingularityNET. The whole being more than the sum of its parts, leveraging the finest minds in the world, the finest technologists, the finest scientists, and the finest operations team supporting them as well, and particularly the most visionary and inspiring community of any project on the planet. I so enjoy interacting with the community, watching all of the suggestions and ideas that sometimes come to me in DM or come in discussions across all of our different SingularityNET platforms. And as we further and further and further decentralize, it will be more and more and more about you and less and less and less about us. We're really just the incubator for the brilliance that you will ultimately own, drive, lead. And we couldn't do anything without you. You're the wind beneath our wings. You're everything to us. Stay involved, stay in touch, tell all your friends about us. And here's to an incredible 2022 together. Thank you. Thank you, team. Thank you, community.